reset button between the American and Russian government, but we need a fresh start between our societies. More dialogue, more listening, more cooperation in confronting common challenges. For history teaches us that real progress, whether it's economic or social or political, doesn't come from the top down. It typically comes from the bottom up. It comes from people. It comes from the grassroots. It comes from you. The best ideas and solutions come from ordinary citizens who become involved in their communities and in their countries, and by mobilizing and organizing and changing people's hearts and minds, you then change the political landscape. And oftentimes politicians get the credit for changing laws, but in fact you've created the environment in which those new laws can occur. I learned this myself when I worked as a community organizer in Chicago. I'm glad to see my friend here from Chicago, Calvin Holmes, who we used to work together on a range of civic issues. I was working in communities that were devastated by steel plant closings, and so I went door to door. I worked with churches, trying to learn what people needed. And we had a lot of setbacks. In fact, we had more failures than successes, but we kept on listening to the people. We learned from them. We got them involved. And over time, they chose projects to work on, whether it was building a new play lot or improving a neighborhood park or improving the local school or improving housing in the community. And slowly, block by block, neighborhood by neighborhood, you started to see change happen. More jobs, better housing, more opportunities for young people. And I learned a lesson, that if you want to bring about change, it's not enough just to be an advocate. It's not enough to just wait for the government to act. You have to step up and deliver results, real impact on people's lives. And that is something that I think is lost sometimes when we discuss civil society. There's a tendency sometimes for this to be a very abstract conversation with very lofty goals. And since I am a former law professor, I love abstractions and lofty goals. But your neighbor, your friend, your coworker, they're struggling with very immediate things right now. Can they pay the rent? Can their child go to a school that is going to teach them so that they can succeed in the future? Those are the day-to-day struggles that they're wrestling with. And if they can't see a connection between what you are doing and their lives getting better in the short term as well as the long term, then it's very hard to get any traction over time. Now, no community is the same. Every country will follow its own path. So let me be very clear. Russia's future is up to the Russian people. Not every choice that's good for the United States is going to be good for Russia. Not every model of organization or development or democracy may be easily transplantable from one country to the next. But let me also say that we can learn from each other. And I do think there's some universal principles. So I commend you for this summit, designed not to lecture, but to listen, as was already pointed out, not to teach or impose solutions, but to learn from each other, from the bottom up. As today's speakers explained, there are so many opportunities for new partnerships, developing strong, prosperous communities, expanding education and exchanges that open young minds to each other's countries, promoting healthy lifestyles that help people live longer, more productive lives, discovering the clean energy technologies we need to protect our environment and confront climate change. These are the challenges that we can meet together.